So when we talk about must do things before marriage, these are actually the things that you personally na feel ni kama unafaa kufanya just to give you an experience that you can even share even before uende into marriage. Don't be the kind of person mwenye unaenda into marriage you don't have any life experience, hauna two stories wenye unaambianga huyu mtu. It's like you didn't live life enough. So ile time unaenda marriage ndio you are trying to live life, and probably the partner mwenye una find yasha experience kila kitu, so to them it's not anything big deal. So utabaki kuwa frustrated because the things that you want to do ule msi alishafanya ama partner wako alishafanya hadi akachoka na akaboeka nazo, wewe sasa hiyo ndo unakimbia kufanya. So these are the must do things before you go into marriage. Number one, you have to invest in yourself, okay? Whether you are a lady, whether you are a guy, invest in yourself. Make sure that you're putting your money in the right places, so that even as you go into a relationship, into a marriage, at least uko kimfuko, uko when it comes to money wise or money decisions or even investment decisions. Hapo utakuwa sawa kabisa, okay? The other thing also you have to do before you go into marriage, you have to go on holidays, okay? Usingojea ati ile time ndio umepata partner ndio unasema twende on holidays juu ni nini. And why am I saying these things? Because at the end of the day you will have experienced it on yourself. Maybe umeenda na mabeshte wako ama umeenda on a solo holiday. It's important for you to do those things, because at the end of the day, especially if you are the lady in the relationship, unaweza kuwa na pressure ya kumkuambia mwanaume akisituende holiday, akisitufanye hivi, because you didn't do those things on yourself. So you think when you go into marriage hapo ndio utapata hizo vitu, and maybe the person una go into marriage with already asha experience kitu, so to them it's not a big deal. So yakiamua they'll be going for a holiday every once a year, yako tu sawa, cause alishaenda hizo holiday, it's no longer exciting for them, okay? So now wanna focus on other things. So that's the same that it should be even for you. Whether you are a lady, whether you are a guy, lazima make sure umeenda on holidays. Know what planning a holiday is like. Know what is the experience of ukienda holiday unafaa kuconsider nini na nini na nini, so that when you go into a marriage you are coming with the experience. So hata mkipanga holiday mmeenda sasa mmepata watoto, you guys are married, unajua sasa this is what we should consider, logistics ni hivi, because you are not doing it for the first time. So go on holidays. The other thing also, go to nice restaurants, all right? Again, for the men mnafaa ku realize when you go into a relationship or a marriage, they might expect umpelekange on dates, at expect umpelekange on nice places. So the reason why I'm telling you to go to those places, so that familiarize yourself with such places. Ushajipeleka restaurant, ushajipeleka mahoteli, so to you it's really not a big deal. So hata akisema leo manze sunipeleke out, you actually know the spot and you're like twende ile spot fulani nasikia imefunguliwa juzi. Why? Because already ushazoea hiyo maisha ya kujipelekanga out, ushazoea hiyo maisha ya kujipelekanga restaurants na hotels. And also for the ladies, on the flip side ni ati, for you ladies unaweza pata partner mwenye they're not really outgoing as much. So because you don't know what kind of a partner you will get, unaweza pata partner anapenda ku go out on dates, unaweza pata mwenye hapendi. You need to take yourself out on dates sahi before you go into marriage ama before you go into a serious relationship, so that even if that person doesn't take you out on a date, at least already usha exhaust your feeling, already ushajipeleka out on restaurants nini. And the other thing could also be because this person is not open, ama your partner may not be in the position where ako open to such things, ama yes he outgoing, so hajui mahoteli, hajui restaurants. You can be the person to actually always suggest, by the tunaweza jaribu ile restaurant, tunaweza enda kule, okay? So it's important for you to go on holidays and restaurants, all right? Ujipeleke on solo dates. The other thing also ni na pia kuzoea kujispendia do on yourself. Don't wait ati ukiingia marriage ati sasa ndio unataka kuspendia mtu. If you are a guy ama as a lady unataka hapo sasa ndio unataka kuspendiwa. Use your own money, okay? That's why even when you go into marriage hautakuwa selfish. Juu umeishi kutumianga do, okay? Umeishi kutumia do on yourself, so you won't feel bad even spending for somebody. So I'm talking to the ladies right now. Like the more umejifunza kupeleka out, kujipeleka out, kujilipia date, one day you'll just take your guy out mwambie leo my breakfast is on me, ama leo dinner is on me, twende nikulipie. Na si zile za ati unafika hapo alafu unajifanya ni kama una sleki uone kama atalipa. Hapana, imagine just pay, because that's how a man will feel, kumbe nilipata mwanamke wa maana, okay? It's important for you to do those things. The other thing also, lazima ulearn marriage cultures, the different tribes, because at the end of the day, you see, hauwezi jua culture ya wasee ni gani when it comes to marriage, hizo vitu za dowry processes na nini. So you have to familiarize yourself, especially kama decide you're not marrying from your own tribe. So maybe hata your own tribe pia lazima ulearn, but if you've decided you're not marrying from your own tribe, maybe unatamani msee wa tribe ingine, then you have to familiarize yourself with the cultures of those tribe. Mapema ujuange, okay, sasa wanakuangaje, what are the customs, what is different from your own tribe, what is different from your own. Ukifikiria hiyo marriage, like what will be the consequences of your two cultures coming together. So hizo ni vitu lazima consider, because that's a reality. Okay, if you're going to marry or to be married by someone from another tribe, lazima understand culture yao, maybe even kidogo unaanza understand language yao kidogo, so that pia by the time inafika niyo point umekuwa married na umse, already usha understand them as a tribe. The other thing also I'll say, experience peer like foreigners, experience mzungu, because at the end of the day, sahi kama let's say you're not yet in a relationship, bado hujapata mtu mwenye unaweza sema ati uko serious na huyo mtu, haujui kama utaolewa na mzungu. I interestingly nili have a conversation with somebody like previously kwa live show on TikTok, and I was talking to her and I was telling her, so she was telling me actually that yeye maisha yake yote ameishi kusema ataolewa na mzungu, and guess what, sasa ako Switzerland, ameolewa na mzungu, wako na watoi wawili, wako na twins. Okay, so you can imagine that type of a person. And she told me, by the way, sometimes you have to accept your type yako ni gani. So yeye accept, yeye anataka mzungu, so she wasn't ready to settle for anyone else. So when you align yourself and when you put it in your mind, when you keep talking about it, alikuwa anaambia budake hakuwa naamini, and she was saying venye alibelieve na hiyo kitu, and finally it manifested. So it's important for you to understand pia jua ni nani unataka. Do you want a mzungu? Do you want a Kenyan? Do you want an African from another African country? So it's important for you to settle on those things. The other thing you must do before marriage is know your weaknesses and your strength. Let's say you're going into a relationship, you're going into marriage, you're now thinking, umeshafika hiyo point yenye usha set mind yako to marriage, whether you're a guy or a lady. Now you're saying, I want to settle down, I want to go into marriage. Lazima ujue your weaknesses and your strength, because when you know, at least unajua what you can offer in that marriage, in that relationship, and what you can't be able to offer. Unajua wewe weakness yako kama mwanaume, probably you don't love cooking. So lazima that has to be a conversation between you and your partner. Umwambie, by the way, mimi usiwahi expect nikuwe kitchen, unaget, because I don't love cooking, I don't like the idea of a man being in the kitchen, and have that conversation with them even before relationship iende sana, so that ujue kama ni mtu atakuwa accommodate ama ni mtu mtaanza kuvurugana. Okay, because there are ladies siku hizi apparently wako so stringent on mimi mwanaume lazima akuje kitchen kunisaidia. Mwingine hata alikuwa ananiambia kwa live show, she was saying ati mimi nataka nikiosha, nikipika chakula yeye anaosha vyombo. Can you imagine? But there's a guy who might agree to that, and there are men like me who might never agree to that. Okay, so know your weaknesses and your strength. Pia we kama dem, jua weakness yako ni gani, strength yako ni gani. The other thing also you must do before marriage is that you need to know your icks. Ni vitu gani zenye hauwezi stand? What are the things that you cannot tolerate? You see, every one of us akona a capacity to tolerate the things that we don't like in our lives, but unapata kuna wasi hawana capacity kubwa, so kuna kitu tu inafanyikango kwa like manze, don't do that, you get. So you have to know your icks before, so that this can be a conversation even as you go into marriage, or even as you prepare to go into marriage with your partner. All right, and I think the last point yenye nitasema, a must do before you go into marriage. One thing you must do is that you must set a mindset for yourself that by the end nikienda hii marriage nayo lazima nikuwe loyal. So what does that do? That means that before you go into marriage, have the fun that you want. Honestly, mimi naweza sema hivyo, go out on dates, meet different people, associate with different people, katia wasichana venye unataka, but at the end of the day unajua you're going up to marriage. So this is a phase that is ending. So anytime umejua hivyo, now you are ready to go into marriage, unajua hizi vitu zote ni kuziacha unaziacha, and now you're going to marriage, you're going into something serious. So lazima ukue very aware, lazima ukue very self conscious of that thing. Okay,
Gachin Lion.